everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a little bit over a year that I haven't uploaded any videos at all, and the reason for this video is because I want to share pretty much what has happened in the past year and a few months, and kind of like my journey as an artist, and some of the life stuff that has happened during this year. And so I just want to do a little update, and I think today is actually the Thanksgiving day, and I'm actually waiting on my turkey to be done on the back, and we're gonna do like a little meal and stuff. But I think this is like the perfect day just to kind of reflect on what has happened this past year, and be thankful, and to the people that has helped me to get to where I'm at, and the people that have continued to support me in what I do, and also to just share with you guys as well, because I think whoever watches this video on my YouTube channel or Gumroad or whatever, I think they're part of that journey. So pretty much a little bit over a year ago, I was living back in Puerto Rico. I'm actually, for those that you don't know, I live now in Austin, Texas. And I was living back in Puerto Rico, and I was a full-time freelancer, and I was doing pretty good. And I actually had a job offer. I actually had two job offers. One to come to Austin to work for Powerhouse Animation Studios, which is where I'm currently at. And I had another offer at China for a Chinese company. And at first, it was kind of super exciting, just because it was on the other side of the planet, and it was a good time for us to kind of maybe do like a reset in our life, and just kind of do something completely different. And the whole idea was very, very tempting, but unfortunately, China didn't work out. The more we researched about it, we thought it wasn't like our best option, and so also we actually didn't know anything about Texas, because I've never been to Texas, and my wife has never been to Texas. So we were a little bit hesitant at first, but we actually did like a little scouting mission trip to Austin, Texas, just to kind of check the place out. And we actually met with some of the people that work in the studio, and it was like a super great time just to kind of get a general idea of what was hopefully to come. And so we decided to come here, and I accepted the job offer. I work with Powerhouse Animation Studios, and I work for the Netflix show Castlevania as a background artist. And as we were planning this whole move into Texas, we had to take care of a few things family-wise, and the whole moving process. Puerto Rico was struck by two major hurricanes. It was Irma at first, so it was I think September or something, and that was actually a few days. Irma happened a few days after we arrived from our first scouting trip in Austin, Texas. So we went through Irma, and then Maria came, which was like devastated. Me and my wife used to live in a wooden house, so we had to pack our things and kind of move with my parents, and my grandfather had to do the same thing. So we were all kind of like in the same house, my parents' house, and we kind of went through the whole hurricane thing. And for those that don't know, Maria was I think a 5 hurricane, so that's that's like the highest in terms of like how big it is, and devastating. So there was a lot of flooding, and the winds were extremely high, and we saw roofs of houses just being blown away, and things flying around, and it was pretty scary. My grandfather actually told that it was like the scariest thing he's ever seen, and he's been through a lot. So I think that the whatever hours that we went through that hurricane, I think it was like 12 hours, something like that. It was pretty bad, but I think the worst was like what came after it. Pretty much the whole island was without electricity, so no water, food, just nothing. And you know, I remember doing 12-hour line for gas, for $10 of gas, that I might have not gotten like at the end of the day, because you know, sometimes you make like a 10-hour or a 12-hour line to get some gas, and by the time you get there, there was no gas. So you know, you just lost your whole day making a line under the sun, dehydrated. And so, you know, a lot of, you know, I consider our family to be, you know, blessed and fortunate that we had, you know, some of the resources. But you know, some families, they just were devastated. And you know, it was really hurtful just to kind of see what they went through. And it's really hard to see the really bad stuff unless you're like in it. But yeah, it was a pretty hard time. I think there's still a lot of families still a year after recovering from the damages of the hurricane. But you know, during that time, the airport was actually closed because it just wasn't working, and I had that job offer. And you know, in my mind, I was just like super concerned about how I was gonna leave the island so I could actually get to work, and because I wasn't being able to work in Puerto Rico because there was no electricity, and you know, had a bunch of freelance jobs that I had to do, and I couldn't because you know, we had no electricity, and I can't work without a computer pretty much. And so it was a little bit stressful just to kind of try to figure out how I was supposed to get to Austin, Texas, just so I could start working and move, and just to kind of start over. And so the idea was for me to get there first, and just, you know, start doing what I can, and kind of with the money that I was gonna be making, just send money towards towards Puerto Rico, so my wife could come to Austin, Texas, and bring our dogs, and just kind of reunite after that. But the airport wasn't working, and so I really didn't have pretty much a choice. And one night, one of my old school, when I was doing martial arts way back in college, my sensei sent me a text, and he was asking me, he lives in Florida, and if you're seeing this, Gus, you know, this is you, and we really appreciate everything you have done for us. But you know, he called us, and he was asking how we were, and how we were, you know, pretty much doing with the whole situation in the island after the hurricane. And you know, I talked to him for a little bit, and so he and we, before this, we didn't talk for years, probably like 7-8 years before that. So he pretty much told us that he had somebody that was bringing a supply plane from Florida to Puerto Rico to bring water supply and, you know, food and that sort of thing. And it was like a, you know, like a 4-man plane. It was like a little plane, and the people that were that rented that plane were willing to take people out of the island. You know, it could only take 4 because it wasn't like a big plane or anything. What we call a avioneta, which is like a little, you know, 2 Alex plane. And so he told us that he had 2 seats because he, you know, he had some family members, like a couple that he was already bringing back, and he had 2 seats that they were looking for, you know, for somebody that could take those seats if they want to get out of the island. And so he offered them to me, and I said, you know, yeah, for sure, I'll do it. And so he told me, you know, you need to be, it was like 7 o'clock at night in Puerto Rico. He's like, well, you need to be ready by tomorrow noon, you know, just bring a backpack because, you know, there's no space in the airplane. And you have 2 seats. So if you know somebody that wants to come with you, and you know, bring a backpack in, and then we'll, you know, that plane will take you to Florida, and you can stay with me, and then you can figure things out after that. And so, you know, I told my family. Our family was a little concerned because, you know, like that happened super fast, and it was just something like so like I don't believe much in luck, but it was just like it almost felt like orchestrated, you know. And I took it, and I said, yeah, I packed my things. I packed my wife's thing, and we packed. We had to leave our dogs behind for a little bit, and we got to the airport. So those planes arrive at a different airport in our island. So that airport is more like a private airport where people that had the resources will bring their planes and either bring food or take family members out and that sort of thing. So that airport was actually just working fine. And we got into this little plane, and I said bye to my family, and I think we flew for like, I think it was like 8 hours or 6 hours. We had to make a stop at the Bahamas just to refill with gas, and it wasn't like crazy flight or anything like that. It was actually super, putting aside the stressful of being like super close by in a little plane. The flight itself was super smooth. I think I saw the best sunset I've ever seen in my life, because we weren't like super high. We were just like right there, and it was just like perfect. We stopped at the Bahamas for, it was like an hour or two to get gas, and then we flew to Florida, and there my friend took us in for a few days. Well, we gathered some things, and we flew to Austin from Florida. And so in October 1st last year, 2017, it was my first day working as a background artist in Powerhouse Animation, working in Castlevania. And from there we just started pretty much over. We got an apartment, and which you can see is still the same apartment, which I'm super grateful for. It's small, but we fit here fine. And our dogs were actually, they came, I think it was like 3 months after we were here. So I had to go and pick them up at the airport, and they're here, both of them. Excuse me. And it's been a year and 2 months, and so it's been great. I still do some freelance work on the side after work, but I'm full-time at the studio, and whenever I get freelance, I do it after work or during the weekend or whatever. But I'm really loving Texas. I love the weather. Right now it's actually like 60s, which I thought it was gonna be a little bit colder comparing to last year, but it's actually super nice right now. I don't have the door open now because of the noise, but around this time it's just perfect. And I think that's it. Actually, after probably, I want to say 5, almost 6 months, I got the opportunity that the studio offered me a lead position as the background lead artist for Castlevania. So I took that, and ever since then, that was like almost like halfway through pre-production of season 2. And so I've been leading the team for the background department for Castlevania since then. And if you haven't seen season 2, go watch it. It's a really nice treat. And season 3 just got announced, so we're definitely working on that as well. And that's it. That's pretty much everything that has happened for the most part in my art journey, pretty much, as you can say. But also, as my YouTube channel goes, I've been for actually since I moved here, I've been wanting to go back to making YouTube videos and just keep sharing the little that I know with whoever is interested. And so I'm also using these videos to kind of relaunch my YouTube videos. I actually just came back from a trip with the studio from CTN, and during that whole trip I was planning a lot of things that I wanted to do for my YouTube channel, and just to kind of try to share everything that I've learned in the past year working inside a studio, which the dynamic is so different from being a freelancer. And if you guys are interested in me talking about the two sides of these two worlds, I can definitely do that. But let me know in the comments or in my social media message or whatever, if you're interested in that. But so I made some plans for making some YouTube videos, but I would love to know what you would like me to talk about, if any. And hopefully, if everything goes well, the next video is gonna launch probably the 1st or 2nd week of January. I had to do a bunch of prep work for the videos that I want to try to do for that whole month. It's gonna take me a little bit while to kind of put them together and provide you guys with some good content. In terms of like how the videos are gonna be, they're gonna be a lot less, they're gonna be more casual than the ones that I've done before, just because I don't have the same amount of time to work on editing videos and you know, working with the sound and putting music and all that. So I'm gonna pull all that stuff to the side just to kind of concentrate on creating more content. And it's gonna be just pretty much like this. I mean, you won't be seeing me, and you're pretty much gonna see my screen, but it's gonna be just a little bit more casual and different from the previous one. And so yeah, so hopefully by the first second week of January, I will be releasing the videos. I will also be sending some emails to whoever is subscribed to my website about what those videos are and the things that are coming. So if you haven't, you know, check the link. I'll put in the description, and you know, you can subscribe on that. And so yeah. So if you have any questions, feel free to, you know, comment in the videos and let me know what you guys think and what would you like me to talk about. All right. Well, thank you for listening this past 15 minutes. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on the next.